a low chance of survival. That's what doctors said about a Peoria woman earlier this month after a crash.
Now the family is coping with the aftermath and what happens next. Here's Jon Schoenheider.
On January 9th, 20-year-old Heaven Loza was driving to meet friends in Kankakee. Her mom, Destiny, talks to her every day, but hadn't heard from her by the afternoon. Finally, she got a phone call, but it wasn't from Heaven.
It was like it wasn't true. It was like, when am I going to wake up from this bad dream?
Heaven was airlifted to a local hospital after crashing into the back of a semi-truck. Destiny rushed to Chicago, a drive she's made every day since from her home in Marseilles. Multiple bones shattered, spleen removed, and brain swelling from the bleeding, putting her in a coma. Doctors said her chances for survival were slim, and that they won't know the extent of the brain damage until she wakes up.
Maybe a possibility that she could pass, but I prayed every day, every night, so that she could be able to heal quicker and be able to see our family once again.
In Peoria, her partner Salvador has become a single parent. Currently unemployed, he's looking after their 2 children, 4-year-old Julian and 2-year-old Hazel. Some nights, he says, the children wake up from nightmares, crying out for their mother, who they haven't seen in weeks. But Salvador isn't giving up hope.
I could see ourselves getting old and, becoming married at some time later in the future.
Doctors plan to move Heaven to a different facility in the coming days to take her off the respirator. After that, she'll go to a long-term rehabilitation hospital to relearn to walk, talk, eat, and live. It's a long road ahead for Heaven. But after beating all the odds, her family says they're ready for anything.
I don't care how she comes home, but she's coming home with me. I'll take care of her for the rest of my life. I don't care.
In Peoria, Jon Schoenheider, 25 News.
John, thank you. So far, state police only tell us the semi-truck turned left in front of Heaven when she ran into it from behind. It's unclear who, if anyone, was at fault. Heaven's insurance, though, won't cover her hospital expenses, but her mother did set up a GoFundMe account. You can find that information on our website, 25newsnow.com. Trying to help as many people as possible. That is the mission of a local man who, after nearly 2 decades in prison, wants to follow a new calling.
Yeah, and he isn't getting his business off the ground without some help. Jon Schoenheider shares his story and how he's spreading his faith, John.
Amber Tyler Stephen Snook grew up in extreme poverty during his childhood in Danville, Illinois. After years of crime, he was arrested by the DEA at the age of 26, sentenced to more than 20 years in federal prison. For some, that sounds like the worst punishment possible, but for him, it was an opportunity.
This is the home where Stephen Snook grew up, or what's left of it. An upbringing of poverty and abuse that would lead into a life of crime and 19 years in federal prison. That time brought a change in perspective.
I was trapped in that cycle and I didn't know any way out. There was nowhere else for me to turn, so I turned to the Lord.
Snook finding faith behind bars, speaking and converting fellow convicts within solitary confinement. Through his mission, he found revelation.
That made a powerful impact. They would become hungry for God. If I could get them to become hungry for God and get them to start fasting and praying more often, the change was radical.
Snook re-entered the world with a purpose. That led him to Peoria Next, a startup incubator accessed through Bradley University.
You could tell that he was really focused on, I want to make this thing happen.
His idea? Keeping the scripture at the center of the household through digital photo frames. He says it came to him in a dream while serving his time and became a priority once he got out. But the world had changed since Snook saw it last.
Little did I know in that early call, right, that Stephen would be coming into a world that, he hadn't experienced for 20 years, right? The iPhone wasn't here, emails are new.
Mike Stubbs at Peoria Next took him in, showing him the ins and outs of starting a business in the modern world.
It shows that no matter who you are, right, you can create a company, you can create a new life, you can create a new opportunity.
Snook wants to thrive outside the frame.
For me, it's bigger than a business. This is a mission. This is something that I've dedicated my life to.
He's in the process of writing a book he began while doing time and has shared his life story with over a dozen podcasts. All of that just 9 months after getting out.
What I'm trying to do with everything that's in me is help change in an impactful and positive way as many lives as possible. Through my life story, through the scripture frames, opportunities to speak with people about how the Lord has changed my life.
Tomorrow is Stephen's first Thanksgiving as a free man since 2002. On the eve of the holiday, I asked him today what he was most grateful for in light of everything that he's experienced. And he told me the biggest message he has is to not take your family for granted and enjoy the time that you have with them here and now as much as possible.